Welcome to the stream. Walk around for a bit. I don't know, I'll just add more lights to my house. Alright, now my house is sufficiently lit. So we're gonna turn that on, just so we can see how it works. I'm gonna be adding an XOR gate later, but I'm gonna start getting to work on fixing my key checking here. So I said I was going to add an XOR gate. That I will do. I have the console side where all the checking is going on, and the cartridge side where the key to be checked is. So what the system does is it sends via serial the key from the cartridge to the console to check to make sure it's an authorized cartridge. So Nintendo did this to stop basically game bootleggers from just releasing their own game for the system. Right now we have the key set to 10 on both, so that's denoted by these switches here. And in binary that's basically 0101. And I have a clock here as well, so this is what basically controls how the serial data is put out. So it's just made up of 5 100 delayers, and then there's 4 here. So there's, as you can see, there's basically 5 cycles, 4 of which are data, and then 1 is just a clear cycle. I don't know if that's actually necessary, it was just the easiest way for me to figure out. And that checks over here to make sure that there is that the key matches, but right now I have to hard code the key in, but I figured out right when I ended my last stream that I don't actually need to hard code the key in. Instead of having this whole thing, I can actually just replace that by an XOR gate that I can basically compare the two signals, and if they're different, this will turn on, which will send out a reset signal to the power switch. So actually, I'll just leave that open there. So you can see now that this one is the cartridge read. You can see now that they don't match, so this is always going to blink now, right? So now they do match, and you can see it's not blinking. Actually, an easier way to do it, to have it working properly, would be to just have a relay, I think. Because that will reset the console. So let's just change the key here. Alright, so I've changed the key between the two, and you can now see that the whole system flickers. So this is the on light. So you can see that I've put the system into a boot loop now by changing the key. So if I change the key back, the system no longer boot loops. So that's actually exactly how it works in real life. And let's just try changing the key over here. So now the key's 8. And we can see the system sent into a boot loop again. So I will explain everything I'm working on again. So this is more or less supposed to be a Nintendo piracy checker chip. And I have the console side over here and the cartridge side over here. Now functionally the two chips should be identical. And I mean they more or less are. I only don't have the checker on the cartridge side just because the cartridge is in key mode. And maybe I'll have a little switch that sets it to lock mode, but I mean that's completely unnecessary right now. So I have a clock here, which basically controls the timing of the entire cartridge. And then I've had read-only memory here by switches. And that reads a key of... Oh. Reads a key of 10. Sorry, I changed it for testing purposes. But basically both of these need to match for the system to boot. And that's exactly how it worked on the actual original Nintendo Entertainment System. There was not really any software locking other than a few obscure games, although made by Nintendo themselves. So right now, the clock basically queries the ROM on the chip, and it goes through in a serial connection because the cartridge only allows one pin for checking from the console to the cartridge. So they're both in sync right now. You can see the clocks both activate at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. So that reads the data at the same point. Now, I originally had this system that had the key hard-coded in for checking, but I figured out I can actually dynamically program the key by having this XOR gate. And I'll show you that if the keys change, that will put out a signal here. Because the XOR gate, if these two don't match at the same time, it will say, well, I'm only receiving one input, therefore I must put out an output. And you can see that I just deleted something. Oopsie. Oops. Oh no. Okay, I think so. I've sent the system into a boot loop by doing that now. So you can see that this is basically my on indicator light, and when this is blinking, this is the system turning on and off, trying to read the cartridge and get the correct code. And this is exactly how it behaves in real life as well. So let's change it back to the expected code. So you can see now they match. They're both keyed to 10 in binary. And the light is now on, which means that the system will boot, the system remains on, it's not sent into a boot loop. Now, this isn't going to be circuit building, but I want to build a tree for my house. Kind of like, you know, that kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, just connect it like a tree. Okay, so, I mean, it kind of looks like a tree from this side. Oh, we get some wonderful music as well. Jimmy chose a very good artist for the music. I really enjoy it. I usually play with it off, just because I like to... I have a hard time thinking with no music, or with music on, but you know what? I really enjoy it. Alright, so now we have a festive Christmas tree that randomly flickers based on the oracle, and I think that's actually pretty damn cool. So, disclaimer, I don't really know what I'm doing. So, I guess that's part of the fun, right? Right. So right now I'm just making my RAM module smaller. So I'll connect that there. All right, so I'm gonna do that. He thinks that the chubby sockets are not as good as the regular sockets. He just thinks the regular sockets would be better. So I was just letting him know. Yeah, I like the chubby sockets because they're, you know, they're big boys. I don't know. That is a good question. Yeah, if you remove a component from the game and we have it in one of our saves, yeah, what happens? Yeah, so that's actually a pretty good idea, Jimmy. So I do, yeah, I do a lot of solid modeling, and that's basically what every major CAD program will do if it can't find a an item in a library. it will, or a file in a library, it will say, do you want to load this without without being able to find the file. So, and then if you select yes, then it backs it up, or you can select try and find the file. So I think that's a really good way of handling it. All right, Jimmy, I've big brained the RAM. I think. I hope. So this is 8 bits. Already? Damn it, I forgot to connect them all. Well, wait a minute. I prepared for this. I did prepare. So I'm gonna need these, aren't I? All right, so that works. And then when I turn that back on, alrighty. So I think that's the idea of RAM. So let's write the letter E. So a capital E is 10001. Guys, the decimal for E, or in ASCII, is 69. It's hilarious. Oh, I did that wrong. 68, 69, there. Oh, I forgot to write it. There we go. And then, what I will do, you know what, I'll put that there. That there. So I've written the letter 69 here, or the letter E using 69 in binary, which is 10, or I guess I should be reading it this way, 01000101. E. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know the meme I'm thinking of, the Lord Farquaad and Markiplier face swap or whatever it is. E. Let's just turn everything on. I'm actually going to copy this cartridge thing over here. I want to see how removing and entering cartridges works. Oh! I did it! Okay. Okay. That's my cartridge system again. I've restarted the clock, so let's remove the cartridge. I want to see how this works because I haven't tried this yet. So as you can see, the clock doesn't activate because it's not near the clock pin, right? And the system isn't booting because there's not a cartridge. So this is literally exactly how the console works. Well, let's turn the console off. And let's put in a cartridge that doesn't match. There we go. So let's imagine that's a new cartridge there. And we'll turn the system on. And look, it doesn't boot. And then we'll take that cartridge out. And the system still doesn't boot. But we will make it the correct key. There. Alright. So we're going to follow Jimmy's advice. Yeah, okay, that is like 150 times easier. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. I'm gonna clean this up a bit. Just because all this stuff here is unnecessary now. Whoop. Yay! So I've now made the console smaller than the cartridge, so I'll fix that. Great. I finished my console, and I made it better. I made it work better. So one thing I found interesting, and this can be useful for multiplayer, is that if you want a doorbell, you can set this button here to W. So if anyone walks into your house, it activates, right? So you can have a drum or singer on the other side, whatever you prefer. As someone walks into your house, you now have a vision-based doorbell. I really enjoy that. So I have my Christmas tree here as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make more festive decorations for Logic World. Alrighty. Okay, so I have my doorbell done. I have my Christmas tree. I have my cartridge. I have my RAM. I have my fixed console. Let's make this home a little more home. Let's make a slot machine. A very bad slot machine. If all three of these light up, you win. Oh. I won on my slot machine, guys. I might just make myself a bigger house. Or I'll just make it have 2 wings. There. I mean, this may seem rather mundane, but I am having fun. So, I guess that's the goal, right? So let's make it upstairs. One thing I question is that Bobby has a walking sound, but he's a floating orb. That is... Oh, I broke it again. So I don't know how that's gonna work. Maybe the creator of Bobby can explain. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it there today. I now have a somewhat symmetrical house. Yeah, I mean, follow the channel and join the Logic World Discord if you want to know. I'm going to be posting most there now. I also have Twitter, same handle, at Brown Falcon TV. So I will see you all on my next stream. Thanks for joining. Drop me a follow if you want. I would greatly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thanks, y'all.